Well, what is called tactics, so preparation for future war with NATO. It's still a big country. The lost suburbs, it's not like it feels like a lot, but when it comes to Ukraine, it's not losing the entirety of America, of course. Um, that's the irony of fate. Nobody really knew what America would be today for 20 years, which is in part what I'm counting on. The what this Russia has caught is not a country the size of Iceland, and forgive forgiven to compare to the Icelanders, is a country of their own, should they exist. Uh, Russia right now, the way I'm looking at it, is a big fillet. And that's what I wrote to the man himself. Should Russia may not be able to protect this territory, how can you possibly claim about or ask or this ever endless thing about Russians being attacked or rights and so on? Russia is a great country. They know they can afford this. Russia is thinking as a great country, but it's not acting as a great country. Once I heard a documentary which said that this is a Russian world. It is Russian world. When you have a country the size of Russia occupying the largest continent on the planet, apart from Europe, this is Russia. We're not talking about Turkish Russians or Farsi-like Russians or Iranian Russians and so on. This is Russia right now. That's not the target though. The target is to make sure Russia, and under this leadership, this is a cold God from maybe a Cold War, an influenza, so to speak, after 30 long years. But should they do not understand the meaning of the cold is here to stay. Sanctions are a vaccine. Compared to that, this kind of logic, it will take years, if not decades, for them to understand in order not to lose their precious 13 million square kilometers they have to conform. Which means the days of this era are long gone now. And through you and with your tolerance, I insist about making sure this is more like West Germany, which is huge, even by today's standards. It is huge. So apart from China, I see nothing else. People who are professionals are supposed to put their lives online and telling me this is an empty land. Nothing worse than having military passion, military science on the way from killing a bee and thinking about how to kill it to killing a person to a Godzilla and saying this. So I'm taking the war quite seriously. As for me, I say that still Russian patriotism. Someone has not totally lost his mind in saying this matter what I do. In fact, owing nothing at all, not having his kids, secured his grandchildren somehow. If they keep going like this, at best, Russia is a Chinese satellite, this thing, this high, and the Chinese, on the other hand, will take full advantage of it and its resources. Eventually, Siberia will become Chinese. This will be on top of this, but in theory. You must not let red hands reach this, which means, since I'm heard this is what they're going to do. They're getting all interest in for the sake of chaos, so to speak, when it comes to what old Western mentality after 1945, which is not precise. Now, nobody wants war. I hope. If you do this, you make Kazakhstan a pro-Chinese country and create problems with China. Yeah. Messing with something you could be influencing better if you had not withdrawn. I begged you not to do it. I'm glad you did, but not more smartly, like I told you. I begged you not to do it. You say extremists, as they say it sometimes, it is inevitable. When someone like me, Dimitris, is talking about World War III, as if they're talking about me clicking this or this, that's his possibility, intentional. Such as a message, I do not care about message. The man says, I know Dimitri. It's a quite thoughtful man. I consider him moderate in their circles even now, despite what this man West says. When I have to deal with a man who says, this is how it happened, this is how it's gonna happen, I'm gonna deal with this man, I respect it. Dmitri is a very close friend of Vladimir. And I said to Mr. Putin about changing leadership. He couldn't have been, he'll actually be in. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. I told him in 2016, I told him to resign for honors, become a manager. I told him he is wrong. He has lost that because his ill will told him to, not I. He gained only this, the way you see it, because he was unsure of his bad self. I cannot find a man like this directly. You have to seek in these kinds of circumstances. You have to seek in temple. Most assumptions agree this will become that or part of whatever stands like him. This will become part of that. That's gone already. That is what Kai said. If you lose this, you're gone. But you have 12,000 dollars. I'm supposed to. It's a project. Don't act. You can edit. It's only